We are here in Alsdorf with Daan de Groot. He's the defending European Championship of 2019 and he's also the winner of the Powerman Alsdorf 2019. Dan, would you mind to just give us a little bit of insight about how you end up doing duathlon? What's your main goals for the season 2020 and just to get a feeling of the sport?
I started off cycling and I tried to become a professional cyclist at first. It went okay. I did a lot of nice races also in Italy and France, and it was a nice time. But I also crashed a lot, and in the end I was kind of sick of that. So when I started my new job, I also thought I'll just take on a new challenge in sports. So I went to do run bike runs, and it went quite good. I turned out to have some talent for running, although it's still my weak discipline. I really like it, at least.
All right, you're from the Netherlands, and would you say that duathlon is a very popular sport in the Netherlands, or is it, just a thing between running and cycling?
It's getting better a lot. I think it's mostly related to triathlon, and therefore people think that it's just triathlon for people that can't swim. So I think we're working on that. It is really a sport that stands on itself, and a run bike run is really a tough sport. And on the other hand, it's a really accessible sport for everyone. So people can all run, they can all cycle, and doing a run bike run is like the next step. And those two things, being accessible and tough, I think is a unique selling point of a sport. And we should really, make run bike run bigger. Although it's getting there. We have a group of people in the Netherlands who work on that, promoting it, and I think this year and next year there will really be a lot of developments.
All right, so I can really feel the passion from you for your sport. How do you manage your passion in your daily, day-to-day business? I think you work as a PhD, is that right? Yeah. So how does a usual day or week look like?
Every week is different. I get my training schedule from my trainer, and then I schedule the work around it actually. And I'm lucky. I have two professors who supervise me and are my bosses, and they're really big sports fans, and they really like that I'm doing something next to the work. So they give me a lot of flexibility. So I often work in the evenings after doing the training, and or on training camps, I just bring work and work a bit in the morning before the training, things like that. It's a nice combination.
All right, and what would you say are your main goals for this year, 2020, after the European Championships?
After the European Championships, there are still the World Championships on the middle distance, the 10-60-10 in Viborg in Denmark, which is a really nice course too. And then in September there's the World Championships on the long distance, and that is, I think, the biggest event in run bike run at the moment. So that's the main goal, to win Zofingen. That's actually those three races, the European Championship and the two World Championships, they're just underlined and in the agenda, and the rest is in support of those three races.
And how pleased are you with your current training status? Are you on the right position, or do you have to put a lot of more workouts to get in shape?
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's always after winter you need some reassurance that you're doing well, and I had two races planned for the reassurance. The first was the Dutch Championship at 10K running, but it got cancelled because of the storm. And the other one was a Powerman in Portugal, but I crashed in the Powerman. So, it's hard to say how good I am at the moment, but, the training is going fine. So we'll see in Alsdorf, I think,
Do you have any remaining injuries on yourself or some cracks on the bike from the crash there?
The bike is completely fine. I fell on my hip, so I had some injury in my on my hip, and I couldn't run for 2 weeks. But now it starts to be better, and the joint is fine, the hip joint, but the muscles around it are a bit sore, but they're healing. So it's before Alsdorf it will be fine. Yeah.
That sounds good. Well, right now it starts raining. It's getting cold here. Last year the weather in Alsdorf was very not great. It was really cold. Some funny story. Your drink on the bike got frozen. Is that right?
No, that wasn't my drink. But no, what I had was that my fingers stuck together, and then I tried to take an energy gel, and it went over my fingers. And therefore they stuck together, and because of the cold I was really stiff, so I couldn't really use my hands anymore. The drinking was fine, but then in the second transition I had to put on my running shoes with the frozen hands and the sticky hands, and that was really a challenge. So there's also some video material of that it's really not going well. So
okay, so not a drink, but your finger were kind of frozen. Did the weather otherwise affect you at all? Do you like racing in cold weather, or do you really not mind at all?
Well, I think it's I attempt to not have any idea about that, because when I would say I'm really good in the cold, then I would be really disappointed when it's hot on race day, right? So it's just if you're well prepared for a race, you can race in any weather, I think. And for me, it's usually the tougher the race is, the better I go. So snow, rain, cold, or really hot, it's fine. It's just it should be suffering to the end. Basically, that's what I do best. Yeah.
Suffering at the end. Do you think you can suffer a lot on the course in Alsdorf? Does the course in Alsdorf suit you?
Yeah, you can suffer a lot. In the first run, or in the run part, there's a lot of small corners. You should really mind that you don't go too fast in these corners, because you still have the second run to do. But on the bike, it's really hard to find your pacing, because it's long and straight roads, and you can easily be meant in your head. It can be really tough to have nothing to look forward to, because it's a straight road of 10 kilometers, right? Luckily, you have some hills, and those give you a bit of diversity to distract yourself a bit. But yeah, pacing is really key here in Alsdorf. Yeah.
That's a good tip at least. Also was very close to the Netherlands here. Do you expect your family, your friends come up here and shoot for you?
Yeah. I think there's some people coming. Certainly my family and some friends. I usually like when people come that have as much expectations as me. I don't really like it if family joins that then expects that I'm always going to win, right? So yeah, I want realistic people to come. But I have a really nice group of people around me that are really supportive, and they will be here and cheer. Yeah.
Awesome. So what are your expectations for the race?
Yeah, so that's it's always hard. I try to not think of expectations a lot, because it really doesn't help at all, expectations. So, for example, in cycling, where I then started out, then it's sometimes really nice to know that you're the best, or that you have high expectations of winning, because it affects your race strategy. Because then at a certain point you know that you're the best and you can attack at that point. But a non-drafting duathlon is your own race. You don't need a strategy. You don't need expectations to make your strategy. You just go fast in the run part. You go fast in the cycling part, and then you push everything in the second run. So yeah, do I have expectations? Well, I try not to have expectations. Yeah.
All right, but run fast, bike fast, run fast. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah. We wish you the very best for the race. We're excited to see you racing, and yeah, we're gonna be back in April right here. Yep. Thanks.
Thank you.